Hello internet friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay Lajo, and today my video for you is on how to actually listen to what people are asking you in terms of the context. That's what we're going to be focusing on, so here we go. So there's a lot of people out there who will say things like, I work so hard and my boss never notices, or someone else always gets the credit. So for myself, I had my first manager position when I was 16 years old. And a lot of that was because I was listening to the things that people were telling me, but they weren't literally telling me. Again, what we're focusing on here is what the person actually really wants and what they actually really need from you as an employee, right? If they could do every job themselves, they wouldn't need to hire you. Listening and really understanding what they need is what makes you a more valuable player in this game of humans who are currently working at your job. And here's the real kicker, is that a lot of people aren't willing to do this. A lot of times people take their job for face value, they come, they show up, they do what they're supposed to do very literally, and then they leave at the end of the day. So we're going to explore context in 4 main categories in this video. If you want to be promoted, you're going to need to be responsible for the fact that you are an educator in some capacity, that you are a team player in some capacity, that you are responsible for the continued knowledge in your subject area. And lastly, that you're responsible to self-promote at some capacity. When someone's asking you for something or they're speaking to you, just be asking yourself, okay, which one of these 4 are they really asking for, and how can I deliver on that better? All right, so in what context do you need to be an educator? You might be like, Lindsay, I am not a teacher. I do not teach people things. I am in my office buttoned away from the world because I am an introvert. Okay, I understand, right? But it may be in a circumstance in which your boss says something like, so what new things have you guys been up to recently? Really any circumstance within the context of, what am I actually paying you to do again? Listen, depending on the size of your company, your boss may be responsible for lots and lots of different people at a very high level. And it could very well be that they've kind of forgotten what they've hired you for and what the things you really do are. Now, they may need this instruction at a very low level, or they may need it at a higher level. Some people need to see that line by line number in front of them to say, okay, this was one date, this has changed to the next. And they want to see that very clearly organized in an organized manner in front of them in some way. Maybe they just want to know verbally the things that you have been doing recently, what new things you've been working on, knowing that you're responsible for organizing initiatives in some certain direction. So really any question about what you do or what you have been doing, throw on your educator cap and say, how can I explain this clearly and concisely to this other person? And how can I also show them visual backup in case they happen to forget in the next week or 2. All right, so next, being a team player. I know it's an annoying concept, I understand, right? But the thing is that your boss is responsible for probably managing lots of different groups of people, or at least many different people under one umbrella. And the thing is when you're difficult, it makes their jobs more difficult. Any good leader has to be responsible for the temperature of the tribe, the temperature of the people around, right? When people's emotions get thrown into things, when people start getting into arguments, right? It's the job of the leader to tone that down, get it to a place where work can continue to be done. That is their job. So anytime you're helping to keep that emotional climate level and calm, the more that you're supporting them and their needs. So if they've ever called out, anything to do with your attitude, anything to do with your demeanor within group environments, especially, know that that is something that is important to them, and they probably want you to keep it more on the positive side, especially if you're someone who likes to, speak out in ways that really just end up distracting the group. All right, so being progressive in your own personal knowledge. This is a great one, right? Listen, if there's a provable better way to do something, chances are your boss is going to be very grateful for the fact that you have found it and brought it to the table, or maybe it's a skill that you need to adopt and take on and learn for yourself, and then you can bring it to the table. The fact that you take the initiative to learn that information, to take it in, to then apply it so that you are better as an employee, as a human, right, that is hired, your value has gone up. Having that ability to yourself go in, learn more, bring it to the table is oftentimes exactly what a boss is looking for. All right, and number 4 here, you have to be a little bit of a self-promoter. And now I know a lot of us just want everything to be equal and everything to be fair, and we all worked on this thing together. But do you know what? That's just not the truth. You know, you have some skill set that is unique to you, that is defined by you, and that you're probably better at than other people. If you don't promote that, if you don't bring acknowledgement to that in some capacity, chances are no one else is going to do it for you. So that's your responsibility. How did you play a part in all this? What do we pay you for? Make sure people actually know that, and don't just play the fair game for the sake of that everything is fair. I mean, don't throw people under the bus either. That's part of being a team player. But again, make sure it's clear what your role actually is and how you actually contribute to something. Those are the main points I wanted to cover on how you get promoted at any job, and I think that they will serve you well. And again, it comes just back to listening, context, and how we can leverage that to our own advantage. All right, that's it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Hello, internet friends. Well, let's make sure my mic is turned on correctly. Okay, this is Indy. Who's a good boy? Is it you? Are you very good? Sometimes very bad.